Welcome back to We Watched the Movie. This is Halloween
Shut the
month.
fuck up, Nancy.
It's Halloween month.
Nancy.
What does she have to say about it? Oh, we're here to review A Nightmare on Elm Street.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah.
We're gonna be doing horror movies all month long, all of October, probably into November, because we just can't get enough of this Halloween shit.
1984, directed by Wes Craven, low-budget horror movie, $1.8 million is all it cost. They released it independently to theaters because nobody wanted to touch that piece of shit.
No.
And bad news for them. I mean, did they not learn their lesson from 1977 Star Wars? Always take a chance on these little no-name directors, because sometimes you never know.
And he'd already directed Last House on the Left.
You know for a fact that Wes Craven ate his bowl of Lucky Charms that morning and said, I'm going over the rainbow, and either you're on board or you're not, you fucks. So basically, Freddy Krueger is a pedophile asswipe in life. He gets killed by the town. They all get together because he gets off in the trial for a technicality. So all the town's parents get together and they say, you know what, let's just burn this fucker up in hell. But they kill him. They burn him alive. So then, guess what happens? He comes back as a dream demon and he stalks the children of the people that killed him for revenge.
Everybody knows who Freddy Krueger is. We don't need to explain
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, I do. It's my favorite horror series of all time, guys. I love A Nightmare on Elm Street.
The first one, the original, is the scariest of all of them. It's the.
I don't know.
You might have some people that like certain ones.
Wes Craven's Good Night was pretty scary.
I don't know. Dude's not even in the same boathouse.
Boathouse?
For me, at least, it's the only one that actually really scares me. The other ones might have some great scenes in them. They might have more entertainment value, whatever. This one is the only one that when I'm watching it, still, even today, even though I've seen it 30 friggin' times, when I'm watching it, there's certain parts I'm like, ugh.
Is there a fly on my head?
No.
A moth?
No.
Okay. The pros of the first film. Lambs are freaky. That's the first point. That image, and like that was the nightmare imagery in it is used really effectively, and it scares the shit out of you because you know you have those dreams that weird shit's happening. I mean, the first thing you don't want to see in your dream is first off you don't want to be in a boiler room or a weird dark hallway that's stone concrete walls, but the second thing you definitely want to see is a fucking lamb. What the hell is a lamb doing?
It's completely random and completely freaky.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the whole series so freaky, man. Like, even the movies that are bad, it's just the whole creepiness of a dream. Anything could happen at any time, and you can't get away from it.
It completely reinvented the entire slasher horror genre. It really did. I mean, what's scarier? I mean, you got these big hulking masses as Michael Myers and Jason who stalks kids if they go to Haddonfield or if they go to Camp Crystal Lake. This dude will fucking stalk you in your freaking sleep. He gets off on the fact that he plays with his food in a way. He gets off on the torture behind, you know, before the kill. He can outright just kill you if he wanted to, but it like gives him something to like get you really worked up and then kill your ass.
It's an absolute fact. You cannot not sleep. You have to sleep. He's going to have his way with you, and that's what's so freaky about it. Just the freaky imagery that you couldn't get away with in any other movie because you could be like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. This is in a dream, so anything makes sense. The freaking long arms running that, it's even stupid, but it's because it's in a dream, it makes it freakier, and that's why this horror, it's not necessarily my favorite horror franchise like it is yours, but it's untouchable in that sense that they can do anything they want to you, and it's believable.
They perfectly cast the villain. Robert Englund totally owned that part of Freddy Krueger. He was able to capture the maliciousness of Freddy Krueger. He was able to capture the horror aspect of Freddy Krueger, and he was able to capture like this sick, like foreplay that he had with these teens before he murdered them.
Yeah.
And there was something innately like evil that he was able to harness for film, and I think they caught that really well. The special effects for the time, for what they did in '84, were friggin' awesome for me. I mean, they were memorable scenes. Like, who can forget Freddy Krueger's face coming out of the wall behind Nancy as she sleeps?
That's what I was going to say. This movie in particular is one of those movies. I think horror movies come down to that. The same reason I'm a huge fan of Insidious. It's a slow burning movie, but the scenes, there's always those scenes that stick with you. And in this, there's scene after scene after scene. There's the body bag in the hallway when she's at school.
Nastiness.
There's the blood flowing out of the bed after
after
it sucks Captain Jack down inside of it.
He did.
There's the freaking,
he went to Davy Jones' locker.
There's the what else? There's the scene where Freddy cuts his fingers off, and that scene's funny to me, by the way, because he does it. The way he looks at the camera, I laugh every time, even though it's supposed to be Carrie, because he cuts it off and he looks at her. He's like,
yeah, and he does the whole the friggin' scene where Tina gets dragged up the wall.
There's no other scenes like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, still today, there's no scenes like that.
Those are the kind of scenes that you'll talk about like 10 or 15 years. Like, do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Like, you'll always remember that movie.
But with CGI today, they don't go through the effort to make scenes like that anymore.
I know.
So that's part of the reason why horror movies aren't the same.
And what's crazy is they did that on a $1.8 million budget.
Yeah.
And they were all gimmicks. They were all like cheap little gimmicks that you could do for like $2
Yeah,
back
they
then.
actually took that room and spun it around.
Yeah,
and
like-
they glued the stuff to the ceiling to make it look like it was upside down.
Well,
It's
like
insane.
the whole scene with the the phone where Nancy's talking and then Freddy's mouth tongue comes out and kisses her.
gross.
They said that cost $2. That was a $2 effect. That was a $2 effect.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh my god, that was like David Blaine.
Yeah,
I was like, how did they get his mouth on the end of the phone?
yeah, it's a big one. Heather Langenkamp.
It is a big one.
Or however you say her name.
Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah, maybe other people like her. They talked good about her in the documentary and things like that. I don't know how you guys feel about her. I'd like to know. I think she gets on my everlast freaking nerve. I cannot stand her every time she speaks. I just want to be like,
Give them what for?
I don't need to see her teeth.
I keep
She's
on-
always just like.
I keep on taking the glove.
But no, and she just constantly, every line she says just grates on my nerves, and I don't know why. Johnny Depp was good in his first role ever. Who I thought was really good, is kind of underrated, was the friend. The one who
The tough
dies in
kid?
jail.
The tough kid?
Yeah, who got blamed for Tina's murder. I thought he did a good job of acting. I enjoyed him, and I liked Tina. They did a great job making it look like she was going to be the heroine and then taking her out. That freaked everybody the hell out. And just, the mother was like, same thing. She just got on my nerves. Her face. Just the way she spoke, and she creeped me out. She looked like she should have been in like a 60s porn. I know that sounds weird.
Did you
but
watch those?
No, but it's weird.
I do.
The best actor in the movie, as far as my opinion goes, is the dad. He looked like he could have carried a movie by himself.
The sheriff?
The sheriff, yeah. He was freaking awesome. I kind of wish he was in the movie a little bit more.
Johnny Depp was good for his beginning. You know, you could see the greatness of him coming out.
Yeah.
Robert Englund's my favorite one. He perfectly captured Freddy Krueger. I've already talked about that. I mean, you can't go wrong with Robert.
Yeah, I even forget. I forget that he's an actor in the movie because he's just Freddy to me. You know, he's just
He'll always
Freddy
be
Krueger's
Freddy.
Freddy Krueger. Yeah.
Charles Bernstein, I think Charles Bernstein's his name. He did the music, phenomenal freaking music. It set the tone completely. It's that weird ambient kind of just nails in this chalkboard. I mean, not that it's not ugly, but that do 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 do. And then the rhyme, the nursery rhyme, everybody all over the world knows exactly what's coming.
Yeah.
When you hear that, you're fucked.
Yeah, no, the music is it's not quite as iconic as the Michael Myers theme song.
Yeah.
Because that's just, I mean, it is what it is. But it's perfect for that setting, and I think it's never been used as good as it was in the first film.
It kind of reminds me of those old jewelry boxes where you open up and there's a little ballerina, and it's
Yeah.
that freakiness in
It's
it.
that perfect, like, freaky, just dream music.
When I was younger and I watched this movie, my fish sang that song to me. The nursery rhyme with the background music, because I was scared shitless, man. I thought I was gonna like my fish were singing. I think I covered this in one of our questions video, but literally my fish were singing, and
Yeah.
the music was. I didn't even want to go to the restroom. I think I peed the bed that night. No, I didn't.
Probably did.
I did
Your
not.
Ninja Turtle underwear?
I've been fighting it forever. I didn't have Ninja Turtles. G.I. Joe, bitch. All right, that's all the greatness of Nightmare on Elm Street. Now let's go quickly through the cons, and I don't want to linger too much on it because I don't want that taste in my mouth of stinky. Near the end of the movie, that whole like end sequence was really. It almost felt like Wes Craven was like, I got this great build up, I had this great little setting, and now I don't know how to end the fucking movie. You know, it's like the real world and the friggin' dream world, they cross over so much that it's like the Wes Craven just didn't know how to get out of it.
Here's where I stand on that. I love the ending. I
Yeah.
absolutely love the ending. So we disagree on that. But here's the thing.
No, I don't not like the ending any. I just don't like how they led up to the ending. Like with the whole like he's in the world but he's not in the world. Like did she fall asleep? Like one scene that always got to me was like Glenn. When Glenn's getting butchered across the street, Johnny Depp, when he's getting butchered across the street and she's looking over, yelling at them to help her, yelling at them to help him. She's not asleep, but yet Freddy's able to contact her through the real world. But how was he able to call her on the telephone if she was not asleep? There was just
Okay.
little nitpicky plot holes.
Yeah, and that's what it's like. Almost like time travel. It's like it's like a hard to tell thing. It's like, oh, are you dreaming? Are you not dreaming? Is he in the real world? Is he in this world? And that's easy to say.
Yeah.
It's a hard line to walk.
A little quick thing I wanted to say about the ending. The original ending, Wes Craven didn't want that whole scene with the car, you know, when they drive off or whatever and the mother gets pulled through the window. He was just going to have it where Nancy wakes up and she goes outside and it's sunny and she walks away. That was going to be it because he had no intention of ever making a sequel, ever making a series or anything. The producer wanted that scene because he did want a sequel. He wanted that thing to keep going. Wes Craven was totally against it. He's like, you're crazy. It's not good enough to be a sequel. Or even if it is a good movie, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
So-
he was afraid it would ruin the integrity of the movie. But here's my thing on that. Thank God for that producer. Wes Craven's a genius and everything. But if that movie had ended with her walking outside when her mother was just like, "Hey, I stopped drinking. Everything's fine."
Yeah.
I would have absolutely hated it.
But the only thing that got to me is she turned her back on him, and then he dissipates and goes away.
That's something
Then
they
she
never
just-
really touch on.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
then-
if you don't believe in him, he's not there.
But then she never woke up when she opened the door and it was sunny outside. She just walked outside and it was bright. And so did she fall asleep fighting him? Was she asleep the whole time?
I think my personal opinion is that she was asleep the whole time. That she never brought him back into the real world with her. The whole thing was still a dream, and the movie ended that way. It never came out of the dream. I will say that I absolutely do love the ending. So yeah, when the hand comes out and he grabs her, pulls her through the door, loved it.
That effect really looks cheesy now, but back then it actually worked really well.
And they did that in one take. They begged them, the producers. They said, "Let me get the one shot. I just want this one shot." And he said, "You can have one try at it." And he said, "We did it, and it worked perfectly." And we packed up and we went home.
You know what Robert Englund's little shit was on the whole thing? On the ending, Robert Englund said that he thought that maybe Nancy was having a preconceived dream before the ending. So that means that everything that happened in the movie was just a dream that was trying to warn her what was coming, and at the end of the movie was actually the beginning of that terror.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, whatever. I mean, if you want to go with that, whatever you want to do, Robert Englund, you can do what you want. You can take a shit and I'll fucking buy it. Overall, this movie, I'm going to give it an 8.5. I think it's a solid, it's so original. It totally reinvented the horror series at the time because it kind of got stale a little bit during that time. And it was like it reinvigorated that whole thing, the whole horror series.
Yeah.
The music was great, the acting was great, the story was so unique and different. And I loved it. I loved the villain. I loved all about it.
Yeah, for me the acting was touch and go here and there. I really hated Nancy the whole movie. But just the scenes, the iconic horror scenes in this movie, the absolute creepiness, the original idea of it. Because you imagine, it's just like those other movies. Don't you wish that you could have been there in the seats the first day, the first time it came on screen? It would probably be a completely different movie for you. But I'll probably surprise you with this because it's your favorite horror series. But I'm going to give this movie a 9.0.
The question is does Nightmare on Elm Street 1984, the original, live up to the expectations? Is it all about what everybody says it is? Is it the greatest whatever? Or do you think it's like it's whatever? It's not that good of a movie?
Yeah, give us your rating 1 to 10 on it.
I want to know
what you guys think. Everybody's seen it, so let us know. Guys, we got a lot more comments. Halloween month. We got all the Freddy movies, all the Michael Myers movies, all the Friday the 13th, all the horror movies you can think of. It's going to be a blasty blast. We'll see you next time.
Rate, comment, subscribe, or I'm going to come to get you.
Make sure you have to sleep. You have to go to sleep at some point. So at some point, he's going to have his way with your butt. He's going to leave that in.
This is God. And a friggin' fuck chuck but legend was born.
Yeah, that's me and Jay later on in life, and that's our dog.
That's a cat.
We watched a movie. We watched a movie.
Oh, it's Halloween. I'm scared.